All right, welcome into Jammin' Sports, everybody. As we now turn our attention to baseball, we've had an afternoon of football with 3 games, and now we have a baseball doubleheader for you, as we'll have Game 3 of the American League Championship Series, followed by Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. First up is Game 3 between Seattle and the Chicago White Sox. This series is tied at 1 game apiece. It's a best of 7. Games 3, 4, and 5 are in Comiskey Park in Chicago. And that'll be followed by Game 3 of the Giants and the Phillies. The Giants lead that series, the National League Championship Series, 2-0. Games 3 and 4 and 5, if necessary, are at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. We'll head there after this game. All right, first up, it's the Mariners and the White Sox. And once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe on YouTube here. If you're watching this on YouTube, that means you're watching the games after the fact. If you're watching on YouTube, why don't you think about joining us live on Twitch? We're on Monday through Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 Pacific. We're on Saturday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. That'd be 10 in the morning Pacific. And we're on Sundays at 5 Eastern, which would be 2 o'clock Pacific Time, with all sorts of games and everything right here on Jammin' Sports. This time of year, we're not on Friday night because on Friday night I have high school football that I do on the radio, so I'm not able to be here on Fridays. But the other 6 days of the week, we're here, and we invite you to join us live on Twitch. Just go to www.twitch.tv.com. It's actually www.twitch.tv, and then look up Jammin' Sports. All right, let's head out to Comiskey Park in Chicago for this one. The Mariners and the White Sox here at Jammin' Sports. Your lineups. Jammin' Sports presents the American League Championship Series, Game 3 between the Seattle Mariners and the Chicago White Sox, live from Comiskey Park in Chicago. This best of 7 series is tied at 1 game apiece. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series is up next here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the first inning. John Garland will be pitching, the starting pitcher for the White Sox this evening, here in Game 3. We'll have Game 3 of the National League Championship Series after this one. A doubleheader today. Ichiro Suzuki will lead things off for the Mariners here in the top of the first. Series is tied at 1 game apiece. And now the first pitch of the game, in there for a strike, 0-1. Just underway, live from Chicago. We're on the south side, Comiskey Park. 0-1 pitch, popped up, out into left field. Minoso goes back and makes the play for out number 1. Meaning Minoso There's your starting lineup for the Mariners. The second baseman, Brett Boone, up next. Ichiro flies out to left to begin the game. Games 3, 4, and 5 will be right here at Comiskey. Brett Boone, the second baseman. Low and inside, 1-0.
Count 1-0.
Just underway from Comiskey Park. 1-0 pitch. High in the air, out to right field. Michael Jordan goes over and makes the play for out number 2. Boone flies out to right. And now Edgar Martinez, the DH, up next for Seattle to face John Garland. Rips it to Anderson at short. Throws to first, not in time. Anderson knocked it down, stayed with it, but it was not in time. That'll be an infield single for Martinez. And now the center fielder, Ken Griffey Jr., comes up. Big swing and a miss, strike one. Count goes to 0-1. Pitch. Popped up into center field. Shoeless Joe Jackson comes over and makes the play for the final out. No score here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the first. Randy Johnson pitching for the Mariners tonight. Here in Game 3. Facing the second baseman, Nellie Fox, who will lead things off for the White Sox here in the bottom of the first inning. No score, just underway. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Low and inside. Count goes to 1-1. And now the 1-1 pitch. Tried to lay a bunt down, missed. Strike 2. Count goes to 1-2 to Fox. And now the 1-2 pitch. He hit him. It'll be a leadoff walk for Nellie Fox. So nobody out, runner on first base for the White Sox. The shortstop, Tim Anderson, up next. In there for a strike, 0-1. So Johnson walked the first batter by hitting him, Nellie Fox. So the White Sox have a runner on first with nobody out. The count's 0-1 to Tim Anderson. They throw to first, and Fox is back in time. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-2. They throw to first. Fox back in time. Count remains at 0-2 to Tim Anderson. And now the 0-2 pitch. High in the air. Out to Griffey in center field. He's not going to get to it. That's going to fall for a base hit. Runner coming around. Fox is coming home. And the White Sox take a 1-0 lead on the double and an RBI by Tim Anderson. Out to left center field. And the White Sox take a 1-0 lead here in Game 3. Still nobody out. And now shoeless Joe Jackson will come out with a runner on second base. Low and inside, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. So the White Sox don't waste any time. They get a run here in the bottom of the first to take a 1-0 lead. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. One pitch. Outside, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, nobody out. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Randy Johnson's struggling early here. He's given up a run. He's got nobody out. And he's got a runner on second base, Tim Anderson. And it's 3-1 to Jackson. Ball 4. And now the White Sox have runners at first and second with nobody out. And now the first baseman, Frank Thomas, comes up. In there for a strike, 0-1. Still nobody out here at the bottom of the first. Runners on first and second. He went around. Strike 2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2 to Frank Thomas. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners on first and second for the White Sox. 1-2 pitch, up high, 2-2. Randy Johnson just having all sorts of control problems here in the first inning. 2-2 pitch. Inside, 3-2. And now the 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains. Count goes to 3-2 to Frank Thomas. Now the 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off, remains 3-2. Three-two pitch. Inside, ball 4. Bases loaded with nobody out. Randy Johnson really struggling. And now the DH, Luis Robert Jr. up next for the White Sox. Bases loaded, nobody out. In there for a strike, 0-1. I don't think I've ever seen Randy Johnson get off to this bad a start. Bases loaded, nobody out. He's already given up a run. 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-2 to Luis Robert Jr. And now the 0-2 pitch. Count goes to 1-2. It's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bases loaded. 1-2 pitch. A ground ball. They'll turn 2. No, they don't even get that. That's going to be an error on the third baseman, Kyle Seager. That's going to score a run. He threw to second, pulled the shortstop off the bag. A run scores, and the White Sox are up 2-0. Bases are still loaded. Nobody out. And Randy Johnson is struggling like nobody's business. Outside, 1-0. Nightmarish start for the Mariners. They've already given up 2 runs here in the first. Nobody out, bases loaded. Here in game 3. The 1-0 pitch, inside, 2-0. A walk would score a run. Unbelievably bad start by Randy Johnson. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-1. Comiskey Park in Chicago. We're still in the bottom of the first. Nobody out. Bases loaded for the White Sox. 2-1 pitch. Up high, 3-1. A walk will score a run. I think at this point in the game, you need to get Johnson out of there. He's just having a bad day. 3-1 pitch. A ground ball up the middle. Base hit. That's going to score at least 2. And the White Sox take a 4-0 lead on the RBI single by Michael Jordan. And the White Sox now lead at 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. And there's still nobody out. Runners on first and second. Minnie Minoso, the left fielder, comes up. Up high, 1-0. I'd be getting him out of there. And now the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Still nobody out. Unbelievable. This first inning for the White Sox. Already up 4-0. They have runners at first and second. 2-0 pitch, he went around. 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Minnie Minoso. Two-one pitch. That's a base hit. That's going to score a run. 5-0. Michael Jordan goes to third. Minnie Minoso with an RBI single. The White Sox have scored 5 in the bottom of the first. Still nobody out. And that's it for Johnson. That has got to be the worst start I've ever seen by anybody on the show 23. Randy Johnson, of all people. Now Luis Castillo will come in. He inherits runners on first and third. Nobody out. And the White Sox up 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. Terrible, terrible start for Randy Johnson. Carlton Fisk, the catcher, comes up. They throw to first. Minoso back in time. Let's see if Castillo can finally get somebody out. Outside, 1-0. The worst start possible for the Mariners here in Game 3. Still nobody out. Runners on first and third for the White Sox. And now the 1-0 pitch. A ground ball to the third baseman, Seager. They'll turn 2. There's 1 and 2. 2 down. But that scores Jordan from third. And now it's 6-0 White Sox. 2 outs. And now the third baseman, Yohan Moncada, comes up. The White Sox have batted around. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Moncada. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. They should have started Castillo. And now the 0-2 pitch. Up high, 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are now empty. White Sox up 6-0. Rip, a base hit in the right field to Ichiro. So at 2 outs, the White Sox have a runner on first. The first inning continues. It's lasted forever. We go to the top of the order again. Nellie Fox comes up for the second time this inning. 2 outs, runner on first. Ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. It's got to be the worst first inning I've ever seen here on the show. White Sox have scored 6. 2 outs, runner on first. 1-0 pitch to Fox. In there for a strike, 1-1. And now the 1-1 pitch. High in the air. Who's going to get it? A-Rod takes it at short. The White Sox score 6. They lead it 6-0. We go to the second here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the top of the second inning. White Sox up 6-0. Alvin Davis, the first baseman, up for Seattle. Now there's good news and bad news. The bad news is you're down 6-0. The good news is you still have 8 innings to try to come back. John Garland on the mound. Big swing by Davis. Count goes to 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Outside 1-1. Game 3 of the ALCS. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. And the White Sox lead Game 3 6-0 here in the top of the second. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 to Alvin Davis. And now the 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Rips it to third. Moncada throws to first for the out. Alvin Davis grounds out to third. 1 down for the Mariners here in the top of the second. Yohan Moncada made the play. Raul Ibanez up next, the left fielder. 1 out, bases empty for Seattle here in the top of the second. Down low, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. And now the 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 3-1 to Ibanez. 3-1 pitch. Pops it up. Manoso in left. Makes the play for out number 2. Ibanez flies out to left. 2 down for Seattle here in the top of the second. And now the shortstop, Alex Rodriguez, comes up with 2 outs, bases empty. In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1. 2 outs, bases empty. The count's 1-1 to A-Rod. The 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. At the end of 1.5, White Sox up 6-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the second here in Game 3. The shortstop, Tim Anderson, will lead things off for Chicago. They're up 6-0 here in the bottom of the second. Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. The pitch to Anderson, in there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch, in there for a strike, 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Hit down the line, down the third base line, out of play. Foul ball. Count remains at 0-2 to Tim Anderson. 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. Fouls that off down the first base line. Count remains at 1-2 to the shortstop, Tim Anderson. 1-2 pitch. Popped it up and out of play. Count remains at 1-2. One-two pitch. Struck him out looking for out number one. One down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the second. Shoeless Joe Jackson, the center fielder, will come up next. One out, bases empty. The pitch by Castillo. Inside, ball one. Count goes to 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases empty. The 1-1 pitch. Fouls that one off. Count goes to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch by Castillo. He went around, struck him out for out number 2. 2 down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the second. And now the first baseman, Frank Thomas, will come up. 2 outs, bases empty. The pitch, down low, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch. Pops it up, down the right field line, out of play. Count goes to 1-2 to Frank Thomas. One-two pitch. Rips it right to Brett Boone for the out. Thomas lines out to second. At the end of 2, the White Sox up 6-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. The catcher, Dan Wilson, will lead things off for Seattle. White Sox up 6-0 here in the top of the 3rd. John Garland still on the mound. That's fouled off down the first base line. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. Up high, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Dan Wilson. Nobody out, nobody on. Here in the top of the 3rd. And now the 1-2 pitch. Down low, 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. 2 strikeouts now for Garland. 1 down for Seattle. Third baseman Kyle Seager up next. 1 out, bases empty. He went around, strike 1. Count goes to 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2. 1 out, bases empty. 0-2 pitch. Down the third base line. Counts at 0-2 to Kyle Seager. The 0-2 pitch by Garland. Outside, 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Count remains at 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out for out number 2. 2 down for Seattle here in the top of the 3rd. And now Ichiro, the right fielder, up next. 2 outs, bases empty. The pitch by Garland. High in the air, out to Jordan in right field. And Jordan makes the play for the final out. At the end of 2.5, White Sox up 6-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The DH for the White Sox, Luis Robert Jr. will lead things off. White Sox up 6-0. Luis Castillo on the mound. Inside, 1-0. We've got game 3 of the Phillies and Giants up next. The Giants lead that series 2-0. 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2-0. Pitch. Hit high in the air, down the third base line, foul. Count goes to 2-1 to Luis Robert Jr. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike, count goes to 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to Boone. He'll throw to first for the out. Brett Boone makes the play at second. 1 down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 3rd. Right fielder Michael Jordan up next. 1 out, bases empty. In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Pops it up. Third baseman Seager comes over and makes the play for out number 2. So Jordan pops out to third, 2 down for the White Sox. And now the right fielder, Minnie Minoso, will come up next. 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the 3rd. White Sox up 6-0. The pitch by Castillo. In there for a strike, 0-1. Pitch. Outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases empty. And now the 1-1 pitch. Down low, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Minoso. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. They'll even the count at 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Did he go around? No, 3-2. It's full. Full count with 2 outs. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk for Minoso. And now the catcher, Carlton Fisk, will come up. 2 outs, runner on first base. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. White Sox up 6-0. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 to Fisk. 2 outs, runner on first. Castillo trying to get out of this inning. And now the 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first. The 1-1 pitch. Rips it right to A-Rod. They'll get the lead runner for the out. At the end of 3 complete, White Sox lead at 6-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 4th inning here in Game 3 of the ALCS. Brett Boone, the second baseman, will lead things off for the Mariners, down 6-0. Garland still on the mound, in there for a strike 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch, in there for a strike 0-2. We're at Comiskey Park, Chicago, Illinois. Oh-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2. The count is 1-2 to Brett Boone, the second baseman. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2. That'll even the count. And now the 2-2 pitch. Big swing and miss, struck him out for out number 1. 1 down for Seattle here in the top of the 4th. Let's watch these pitches. That was in there. One out, base is empty. The DH, Edgar Martinez, comes up for the Mariners. And that's in there, strike 1. Count goes to 0-1. We're in the top of the 4th, White Sox up 6-0. And now the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-2.
0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, base is empty. Edgar Martinez, the DH, at the plate. 0-2 pitch. Rips it foul down the line. Count remains at 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Right up the middle, a base hit by Edgar Martinez. A 1-out single right up the gut. Now Ken Griffey Jr. will come up for Seattle, the center fielder, with 1 out, runner on first base, here in the top of the 4th. White Sox lead it 6-0. Griffey steps in. The pitch by Garland. Down low, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Popped it up, out of play. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on first. One pitch. In there for a strike, 1-2. Garland with 4 strikeouts already tonight. Looking for number 5. That counts 1-2 to Griffey. Swung and struck him out for out number 2. 5 strikeouts for Garland. Is that prophetic or what? Now the first baseman, Alvin Davis, comes up. 2 outs, runner on first for Seattle. The pitch by Garland, up high, 1-0.
1-1, okay.
And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first base. 1-1 pitch. Down low, 2-1. We're in game 3, top of the 4th. White Sox up 6-0. 2-1 pitch. Fouled it off. Count goes to 2-2 to Alvin Davis. The White Sox had a 6-run first inning. They totally shellacked Randy Johnson. 2-2 pitch. Down the third base line, foul. They gave up. Randy Johnson never recorded an out, and they had to pull him. The 2-2 pitch. Castillo had to come in with nobody out and bases loaded after giving up 6 runs already. Johnson got shellacked. Now the 2-2 pitch. Down the first base line, out of play. And the White Sox scored 6 without ever hitting a home run. The count's 2-2 to Davis with 2 outs, runner on first. Inside, 3-2. It was the worst first inning I had ever seen in my life. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. At the end of 3.5, White Sox up 6-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Game 3. Yoan Moncada, the third baseman, comes up for the White Sox. They have a nice, comfortable 6-0 lead. Luis Castillo on the mound. Up high, count goes to 1-0. The Mariners had to pull Johnson, and there was still nobody out. And they had given up 6 runs already. The 1-0 pitch. Fouls that one off. That'll even the count at 1-1. When you get a chance, go back and look at the first inning. Just a nightmarish first inning. Fouled it off. Count goes to 1-2. Yes, they pulled his Johnson. The 1-2 pitch. Ripped. Base hit into center field for Moncada. There'll be a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 4th. Somebody has to, Evil Dead. Somebody has to. And now the second baseman, Nellie Fox, will come up. Nobody out, runner on first base. In their first strike, 0-1. White Sox up comfortably, 6-0. Here in the bottom of the 4th. Here in Game 3, the series is tied at 1 game apiece. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Fox. Still nobody out. Gilbert and Kirby warming up in the bullpen. I can see that. I can picture that. And now the 0-2 pitch. Pops it up. Alvin Davis comes in and makes the play for out number 1. Fox will pop out to first. 1 down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. Next up, the shortstop, Tim Anderson. A 6-0 lead for the White Sox here at the bottom of the 4th. That is not a typo. Randy Johnson got nailed. Up high, 1-0. Oh yeah, that picture you sent me? My goodness. A veritable who's who. And now the 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. The 70s was such a great era for baseball. It really was. Look at all the Hall of Famers that came out of the 70s. The 1-1 pitch. Up high, 2-1. And now the 2-1 pitch. Ripped. That's well hit into left center field. I think another run's going to come around and score. Moncada, yes, he scores. And the White Sox lead at 7-0. Another double for Tim Anderson. His second double of the day. Two doubles for Tim Anderson. And now the White Sox lead at 7-0, one out with a runner on second base. Shoeless Joe Jackson comes up. It's up high, 1-0. When you look at that list of names that was on that picture, and then Bill Matlock was first, it's like, wow. Yeah, should have let Randy rest another day. And now the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. We've got game 3 of the Giants and the Phillies after this, of the NLCS. 2-0 pitch, down low, 3-0. Oh, yeah. When you look at everybody that was on the Cubs in the 70s, you wonder why they weren't better than they were. Ball 4 on 4 pitches to Shoeless Joe Jackson. And now the White Sox have runners at first and second with just one out here in the bottom of the 4th. And now the first baseman, Frank Thomas, comes up. The Cubs had a lot of good players back then. Down low, count goes to 1-0. Jackson at first, Anderson at second. Just one out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, White Sox up 7-0. I was just thinking that. They probably didn't have good pitching. Count goes to 2-0. Other than Fergie Jenkins, who else did they have in the 70s? The 2-0 pitch. Hit high in the air down the first baseline, foul. Count goes to 2-1 to Frank Thomas. One out for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on first and second. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1. Yeah, that's right. Angels are just like them. And now the 3-1 pitch. He went around. Full count to Frank Thomas at 3-2. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. One out, bases loaded. It's been a nightmarish game for the Mariners. And now the DH, Luis Robert Jr. comes up. One out, bases loaded for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. They're already up 7-0. In there for a strike. No, he did not. He did not. Randy Johnson started, and he got nailed for 6 runs. And he didn't get anybody out before they brought Castillo in. That was all in the bottom of the 1st. Outside, 1-1. I mean, Randy Johnson got shellacked. 6 runs, and not one of them were off a home run. Robert is how you say it? All right. Fouls it off down the first baseline. Luis Robert Jr. Thank you, Evil Ned. Corey's back in the house. Good to see you, Corey. Corey, the big Mariners fan. This series is tied at 1 game apiece. Up high, 2-2. One out, bases loaded. White Sox already up 7-0. You'll be here all week. Good to know. 2-2 pitch. In there for a strike. Struck him out. 2 down for the White Sox. That's a big strikeout. And now Michael Jordan, the right fielder, comes up. 2 outs, bases loaded. Here in the bottom of the 4th. Seattle won game 1. The White Sox won game 2. Martinez was the game 1 winner. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Two outs, bases loaded. Games 1 and 2 were in Seattle. Games 3, 4, and 5 are here in Chicago. The 2-0 pitch. Up high, but he swung at it, fouled it off. Count goes to 2-1 to Michael Jordan. A walk would score a run. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. In the game that Seattle lost, that was the last game. Who lost that game? Give me a second. That was last Sunday, I forget. Ripped down the line, base hit, that's going to score a run. That's going to score 2 runs. 9-0 White Sox. Jordan with a double down the line. A 2-run double. And the White Sox take a 9-0 lead. Just a nightmarish game for Seattle. I don't rightly know offhand MJ's rating. Minnie Minoso up next, the left fielder. Fouls that off. 0-1. The White Sox have moved out to a 9-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. They scored 6 in the bottom of the 1st, just killing Randy Johnson. And now they're beating up on Castillo. Outside, 1-1. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Up high, 2-1. No, we don't do that. What if the Mariners come back? I wouldn't want to miss that. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 2-2 to Minoso. Yeah. Patience, Grasshopper. Right up the middle, off at Castillo. That's going to score another run. Everybody's safe. 10-0 White Sox. As Frank Thomas scores from third. And we have another pitcher coming in now. That's it for Castillo. Who else can we beat up on? Logan Gilbert comes out. White Sox lead at 10-0. Here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Catcher Carlton Fisk comes up. Outside, 1-0. Wow, 10-0. You could. You'd be a bit fatigued, I think. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. Logan Gilbert is now the new pitcher for Seattle. Here in the bottom of the 4th, down 10-0. Up high, 3-0. And he's not doing very well. You're going to want to take the copy of this game, if you're a Mariners fan, and burn it. 2 outs, runners on first and third. The count's 3-0 to Carlton Fisk. That's a base hit. Another run. And he's safe at third. This is the biggest lead. Yes. It's 11-0. Fisk with an RBI single. And the White Sox onslaught continues. He actually ended up with a double on that one. 2 outs, runners at second and third. Third baseman Moncada comes up. He flies that one out to Ichiro on the warning track. Finally gets the final out. Wow. 11-0 White Sox here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the top of the 5th. Left fielder Raul Ibanez will come up for the Mariners. John Garland still on the mound for the White Sox. He's having a nice game. In there for a strike. I think it was Moyer that was in game 2. Hit sharply to third. Moncada will throw to first. Safe. Ibanez beats out the throw. They're going to call that an error. Yeah, getting all these runs out of their system in game 4. This is why you have a best of 7. Here comes Seattle. They're going to rally. Down 11-0. Nobody out. Shortstop, A-Rod comes up. In there for a strike, 0-1. Can the Mariners come back? That would be something if they did. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down low. It is. The game this morning was great. Golden State, Dallas, that one went right down to the wire. That was a good game. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-2. I'm not getting NBA 24. It doesn't get good reviews. They say it's a step backwards. Big swing and miss. Struck him out. One down for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th, or top of the 5th. Dan Wilson, the catcher, up next. One out, runner on first. Rips it foul. Count goes to 0-1. Every review. Oh, I won't tell you. I'll just tell you it was a great game. You need to go back and watch it. 0-1 pitch, outside, 1-1. Every review on Madden, or not Madden, NBA 24 I've seen and read has been bad. Anderson, they'll get the double play. Yes. At the end of 4.5, White Sox up 11-0. That's not a typo. Here at Jammin' Sports. All right. We're at Comiskey Park in Chicago. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. White Sox up by a touchdown and 2 safeties. Nellie Fox, the second baseman, comes up here in the bottom of the 5th. In there for a strike. It would most likely be, I don't know. It would most likely be, I don't know. Outside, 1-1. The reviews are saying, most of them say it's a step backwards. 23 was really good, but 24 they say not so much. And that's going to be a base hit for Fox down the left field line. And the White Sox lead off the 5th with a single. What happened is with NBA 2K24, they said they put too much emphasis on the ultimate teams. Just like Madden does. They said that was the focus, and it, you can tell. They basically said it's not as good. Anderson will step up. Outside, 1-0. So I'll just stick with 23. I like 23. It's a good game. They throw to first. Back in time. I'm not going to waste $70 on a game that's not that good. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner on first base for the White Sox. Here in the bottom of the 5th. There goes the runner. Down to second. He's got him. They got him. Nellie Fox gets gunned down. Yeah, put a position player in. I wonder if the AI will do that. It might. This game is so good, it just might do that. One down for the White Sox. The count's 2-1 to Anderson. Bases empty. Pops it up. And A-Rod at short will take it for out number 2. Anderson pops out to short. 2 down for Chicago. Here in the bottom of the 5th. And now shoeless Joe Jackson will come up. The center fielder with 2 outs, bases empty. Shoeless Joe. The pitch to Shoeless. In there for a strike, 0-1. All right, Corey. Corey, don't be a stranger, man. You can be here for football, too. 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. Corey, our resident Mariners fan. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs, bases empty. Shoeless Joe Jackson at the plate. Big swing and a miss. I'll even the count at 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch. Up high, full count, 3-2. The White Sox are up 11-0, and they don't have any home runs. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped it up. Ibanez makes the play. At the end of 5 complete. White Sox lead it 11-0 here at Chapman Sports. All right, we go to the top of the 6th. Third baseman Kyle Seager, will lead things off for Seattle. Yeah, I like the Reds too. I like the Cardinals and the Reds. The Cardinals are my favorite. I think the Reds are my second favorite. I like them too. Counts 1-0 to Seager. It's a ball. Count goes to 2-0. White Sox lead it 11-0 here in the top of the 6th. Game 3 of the ALCS. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. We need a Mariners comeback here to make this game interesting. In there for a strike, 3-1. We've got Game 3 of the Phillies and Giants up next. We'll be in Philadelphia for that one. The Giants lead that series 2-0. 3-1 pitch, in there for a strike. Count goes to 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Inside, struck him out. Rung him up. 8 strikeouts for Garland. Garland's being overshadowed by the 11-0 lead. But Garland has pitched a good game so far. 8 strikeouts. And now Ichiro comes up, the right fielder. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1.
Garland has pitched a great game. Very quietly pitched a great game. And now the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Down low, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. And the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. The count remains at 1-2 to Ichiro. One-two pitch, up high, 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
1 out, bases empty for Seattle. Here in the top of the 6th, down 11-0. And now the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 3-2. And now the 3-2. Foul down the line, out of play. Count remains at 3-2. Three-two pitch. Struck him out for out number 2. 9 strikeouts for Garland. And now Brett Boone will come up. 2 down, bases empty. Boone, the second baseman for Seattle. The pitch by Garland. Down low, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases empty. One pitch. A dribbler up the middle. Anderson throws to first, not in time. That'll be a base hit for Brett Boone. Anderson did his best to get to it, but it was so far in the hole, Boone was easily safe at first. And now Edgar Martinez, the DH, up next. 2 outs, runner on first base. The pitch by Garland. Down low, 1-0. One-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. One pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2 to Edgar Martinez. And now the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first base. Edgar Martinez at the plate. And he fouls that one off down the first base line. Count remains at 2-2. We're at Comiskey Park in Chicago. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. At the end of 5.5, White Sox lead it 11-0 here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Frank Thomas, the first baseman, will lead things off for the White Sox. They're up comfortably 11-0 here in Game 3. Logan Gilbert's still on the mound for the Mariners. It'll be a ball. We got Murphy and Ray warming up in the bullpen for Seattle. Counts 1-0 to Thomas. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. White Sox well on their way to a 2-1 lead in the series. Ball, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Down the line, foul. Count goes to 2-2 to Thomas. 2-2 pitch. Inside. And Ibanez couldn't get over there. Count remains at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out for out number 1. 1 down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 6th. Comiskey Park, Chicago is where we are for Game 3. Luis Robert Jr. up next. I was given the correct pronunciation on that. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Here's the pitch. Up high, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. He went around, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Base is empty. The 1-1 pitch. Pops it up. Griffey Jr. going back. And Griffey makes the play for out number 2. 2 down for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 6th. And now Michael Jordan, the right fielder, up next. 2 outs, bases empty. Our resident basketball player. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1 the count.
0-1 pitch. Rips it foul. Count quickly 0-2 to Michael Jordan. And now the 0-2 pitch by Gilbert. Up high, 1-2. One-two pitch. Outside, 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. At the end of 6 complete. White Sox up 11-0 here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the top of the 7th. Center fielder Ken Griffey Jr. will lead things off. Down low, count goes to 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. White Sox lead it 11-0 here in Game 3. This series is tied at 1 game apiece. It won't be for long. And now the 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. Get a Mariners rally. 3-0 pitch. Rips it foul. Count goes to 3-1. Three-one pitch. And that's going to be a base hit for Griffey into right field. Jordan will throw it in. It's a leadoff single for Seattle here in the top of the 7th. All right. Seattle comeback. Here we go. Here we go. Can the Mariners come back? That'd be something. Alvin Davis, the first baseman, up next. Nobody out, runner on first base. And that's a ground ball. They'll turn 2. There's 1. Oh, they get the lead runner. That's it. Nellie Fox fields the ball and opts to go for the lead runner to get Griffey out at second. It'll be a fielder's choice. 1 down. Here at the top of the 7th, Raul Imanez, the right fielder, up next. Down low, 1-0.
0-1, no strike.
1 out, runner on first base. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on first. 1-1 pitch. Fouls that one off, 1-2. Right. 1-2 pitch. Ball 2. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 2-2. Ripped into left field or center field. Shoeless Joe on the warning track makes the catch for out number 2. I had a mouthful of ice cream. 2 down. A-Rod comes up here in the top of the 7th. And there's a shot down the right field line, but foul. Count goes to 0-1 on Rodriguez. And now the 0-1 pitch. Count goes to 1-1. Up high, count goes to 2-1. Two-one pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 2-2. Two-two pitch to A-Rod. Struck him out. At the end of 6.5, White Sox up 11-0. Here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Minnie Minoso, the left fielder, will lead things off for Chicago. 11-0 lead for the White Sox here in Game 3. Inside, count goes to 1-0. He went around? Yes, he did. They'll even the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2. One-two pitch. Ripped it into right field. A base hit. Ichiro will throw it in. It's a leadoff single for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. White Sox not letting up. They're up 11-0. And now the catcher, Carlton Fisk. Nobody out, runner on first base. And Fisk rips it down the third base line, but foul. Count goes to 0-1 on Fisk. Pitch by Gilbert. And that's high in the air, out to left. Nice play by Ibanez. Makes the out. Ibanez comes running in and makes the play for out number 1. Third baseman Yohan Moncada comes up. Went out, runner on first. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1.
Oh, 1 pitch. Down low, 1-1.
0-1 pitch.
One pitch. Up high, 2-1 to Moncada.
2-1 pitch.
Game 3, Phillies and Giants up after this. Giants lead that series 2-0. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1 to Moncada. One out, runner on first. 3-1. Right up the middle. A-Rod makes the play, throws to first in time. They get the double play. 11-0 White Sox here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 8th. Catcher Dan Wilson will lead things off for Seattle. White Sox up 11-0.
0-1 to count.
In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Down low, count goes to 1-1. Lopez and Lynn warming up in the bullpen for Chicago. I don't know if those are seagulls out in left field or white buzzards circling around Seattle. Up high, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Fouls it off. Count evens up at 2-2 to Dan Wilson. Nobody out, nobody on. And that's inside, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball. Anderson picks it up. Throws to first for the out. Wilson grounds out to short. One down here in the top of the 8th. And now third baseman, Kyle Seager. Ball one, count goes to 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. And it's outside and high. Count goes to 2-0 to Seager. One out, bases empty here in the top of the 8th. Count goes to 3-0. And now the 3-0 pitch. In their first strike, count goes to 3-1. One out, bases empty for Seattle here in the top of the 8th. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Full count now, 3-2 to third baseman Kyle Seager. Three-two pitch. Ball four. It's a one-out walk for Seager. So the Mariners get a runner aboard here in the top of the 8th with one out. Ichiro, the right fielder, up next. In there for a strike, 0-1. Garland pitching a great game for the White Sox. And that's a shot, that's fair, down the third base line. And the runner's going to come home, and they get him. Ibanez gets thrown out at home for out number 2. That'll be a double. Now there's 2 outs. Brett Boone fouls it off. Popped up to Fisk. And Fisk will make the final out. At the end of 7.5. White Sox lead it 11-0 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Second baseman Nellie Fox will lead things off for the White Sox. Chicago up 11-0. Pops it up. Griffey in center field will take it for out number 1. One down for Chicago here in the 8th. Tim Anderson, the shortstop, up next. He's got 2 doubles and 2 RBIs tonight. One out, bases empty. And that's going to be to Boone at second. He'll throw to first for the out. So Anderson grounds out to second for the second out. 2 down, bases empty. And now the center fielder, Shoeless Joe, will come up. Could be a quick inning. Down low, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. White Sox are going to take a 2-1 lead in the series. 2-0 pitch. In their first strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Outside, 3-1. And now the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk for Jackson. And now first baseman Frank Thomas will come up. 2 outs, runner on first base. White Sox with an 11-0 lead. The pitch. Ripped. It's a base hit. Into left field. Ibanez will throw it in. So now the White Sox have runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And Luis Robert Jr. will come up to face Logan Gilbert. It's up high. Count goes 1-0. We'll head to Philadelphia after this. It'll be the Giants and the Phillies. Game 3 of that series, the NLCS. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 2-1. And now the 2-1. Foul down the third base line. That'll even the count at 2-2. Luis Robert Jr., the DH for the White Sox. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, full count, 3-2. 2 outs, runners on first and second. And now the 3-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Count remains at 3-2. Three-two pitch. Struck him out. At the end of 8, complete. White Sox lead it 11-0 here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the top of the 9th. Seattle has their work cut out for them. Seattle needs to score 11 to extend the game. They need 12 to take the lead. Garland going for the complete game shutout. First pitch to Edgar Martinez. The DH is up high, ball 1. The Mariners are down to the last 3 outs. In there for a strike, count goes to 1-1. And the White Sox are 3 outs away from taking a 2-1 lead in the series. The 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be a base hit into right field. A leadoff single for Seattle. And now Ken Griffey Jr., the center fielder, up next. Nobody out, runner on first base. The pitch by Garland, in there for a strike, 0-1. Garland pitching a shutout so far. 0-1 pitch. Rips it foul. Count goes to 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Count remains at 0-2. And Griffey fouls that one off. Count remains at 0-2. Nobody out, runner on first base. We're in the top of the 9th. White Sox up 11-0. And now the 0-2 pitch. And he pops it up, and Fisk will make the out for out number 1. Griffey pops out to the catcher, 1 down. White Sox 2 outs away from taking a 2-1 lead. First baseman Alvin Davis comes up. A double play ends the game. Outside, 1-0. 1 out, runner on first. That's Edgar Martinez at first base. 1-0 pitch, up high, 2-0. And now the 2-0 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, runner on first base. And now the 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. Count goes to 3-1 to Alvin Davis. 3-1 pitch. Pops it up. Jordan comes in and right and makes the play for out number 2. Seattle down to the last out here in Game 3. We'll have Game 3 of the Giants and Phillies up next, about 5 minutes or so after this one's over. Left fielder Raul Ibanez. 2 outs, runner on first base. In there for a strike. Garland trying to get his complete game shutout. 0-1 pitch. A ground ball to Fox, and that's the final out. The White Sox win it 11-0 over Seattle. White Sox take Game 3, 11-0 over Seattle. Randy Johnson takes the loss, Garland with the win. And the White Sox take a 2-1 lead in this best of 7. Learn more about the show, go online to theshow.com. Once again, your final score, the White Sox 11, the Mariners nothing. Chicago takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Game 3 of the Giants and the Phillies are up next here at Jammin' Sports.